Hi, my name is Clay Clemens, and I did my presentation on the world of Hypnopaedia. So here you can see is just the main idea. So Hypnopaedia is learning while you sleep. So Hypnopaedia and Brave New World Revisited. So Hypnopaedia is learning by hearing something while you're asleep and under hypnosis. So this is the main topic of Chapter 10 of Brave New World Revisited. During the chapter, it talks about the use of Hypnopaedia and how the leaders can comb society to however they desire. It's also described as using slight suggestions during sleep so that it inputs whatever morals into the individual's minds while they're not in use while they're sleeping. So this experimentation doesn't actually work on everybody because everybody sleeps the same, whether they sleep hard or they sleep soft. So basically, if someone sleeps harder, it's easier for them to have ideals input into their minds while they're sleeping. But someone that sleeps lighter would just not be able to sleep during the noises. So it all works differently for every person. Why and how is Hypnopaedia used? So when Hypnopaedia is being used, the operators can instill any thoughts, feelings, and suggestions in an individual when they're at their weakest mindset, as I said before. So they use this technique in multiple different ways. So they use it with teaching kids at a young age good morals, and then also they can teach them things that they need to know for life. And then also it can create a false sense of peace in the world for every individual, so they can make a fake world by just instilling these thoughts into their minds. And it also makes all people think the same, so that there is no problem and there's no differences between anybody. Hypnopaedia basically uses the sneakiest form of brainwashing to make criminals confess to what they've done, or to get any information they need out of them, or to make a person give out secrets during war. So basically in prisoner of war instances, they've used this. Alright, so Hypnopaedia in today's world. In the very beginning of the chapter in Brave New World Revisited, Huxley speaks about a time back in 1957 when Hypnopaedia was used in real life. So he tells those readers about this camp called Woodland Road Camp, which is a penal institution in California. So this camp used this form of brainwashing to change these criminally insane people into normal members of society. So they basically tested this on them as guinea pigs to see if it would actually work. And so their goal was just to try and use records that spoke homilies and principles back to them that would change them from their evil ways and disobedience back and turn them into a normal human being so that they could be released back into the world. Okay, so another account of Hypnopaedia in real life is from this inventor named A.B. Saliger. He invented this device right here called the psychophone, and he invented this back in 1927 in New York. So this was a phonograph that played a record that talked about life extension, normal weights, and mating. This was designed to make everyday people feel happier about their life if they were sad or if they were going through anything, and then it also made them feel better about their sexual life. And so this was something that people would buy and they would set on next to their dresser, and so it was built into a clock, and so it would know when you would be going to sleep because you turn on your clock, and then with your alarm it would stop, so it would just be sitting there pointed right at your ear, and it would tell you everything that you wanted basically to make you feel better. Alright, so the difference between Woodland Road Camp and Saliger. So in Woodland Road Camp, they meant only to fix the mental state of insane people, to try to fix them of their ways. And then, so the overall thing was they changed crazy back to normal. And then in the case of Saliger, he meant to make sad people just in their everyday lives happier. So they changed sad or uncontent with their life to happy and pleased. Okay, so are Huxley's claims about today's world valid? So going from Huxley's world work in Brave New World, to this new revised version, his ideas about Hypnopaedia really stayed the same, since he actually found accounts of this happening in real life. Although it's not sure that he agreed with this idea of sleep hypnosis, but it was made really clear that he had a very deep interest in this type of experimentation. And just here's a picture of Mr. Huxley. So Hypnopaedia and Brave New World versus Brave New World Revisited. In the original Brave New World, this Hypnopaedia is like the very first thing that readers are kind of exposed to, besides how the people are produced. So it just talks about how the people are produced in decanting, by decanting, and are raised using this Hypnopaedia, so that it basically eliminates having to raise a kid and make them go to school or anything. So it creates this simple world where like nobody's different and there's always peace and there's no indifferences between people. And so this kind of brings the idea of dictatorship to life, so that he can just comb the population with a fine-tooth comb and alter them however he wants, to make them do a certain thing, work in a certain job area, and anything that he wants. Alright, so in Brave New World Revisited, the whole idea of hypnosis is totally different. So the sole purpose of sleep hypnosis is to cure evil people of their ways and possibly eliminate the necessity of going to school, so they don't have to go to school and learn. This way the people can get instantly into the workforce, and there's no need to go to school or waste all those years of schooling. You could just be learning while you're asleep. So aside from those in the past, there has been some instances where militaries and gangs have used this type of technique around the world, so that it ensures the trustworthiness and like security that they have within their gang members or their military soldiers, so that they don't have to worry about getting stabbed in the back or someone giving off information to their enemy. So in conclusion, Huxley's fascination with Hypnopaedia was really the main focus of his works. So this idea of this new perfect world that revolves all around this singular concept of being able to like control people like robots in this sneaky way, really this most effective way possible without them knowing. So without this use of Hypnopaedia, his whole idea of being able to control a world or being able to explain this would not have worked to try to make this world. Because without the use of Hypnopaedia, you can't control anybody, because the only other way is brainwashing, and they know about that. But he seemed to really want it to be under the table and just have them not even know. So, yeah.